Sevens, as we all know now, is basically the process for which a lot of people can attain an opportunity to actually get onto a world stage. So it's actually, if we set the standards here, what we want to do is really just become the go-to, basically, in regards to anybody even in New Zealand saying, if you really want to be a good sevens referee, you need to go through an Auckland process. And hopefully the experience of guys like Salty and myself and others who have been involved with sevens probably quite historically can actually put some effort back into giving you guys a bit of an edge.
Selectors, because we're taking it more seriously, the premier selectors want to come along and have some input. So they want to come on to some of the games and assist myself and Roger to decide who they think should get the finals.
The process is that the team stand on all three people, or all five people, depending on who's been involved as in-goal touch judges. So that particular process means that we're all going to work together, but there's only one referee. So the real key is that we want to put some same expectation on your performance. So your first game can, in some respects, if you really cock it up, could be your last. So the real process is to make sure that you actually hit the ground running. You don't get warm-up games in sevens, because every game's important.
As a referee, we'll try and get the referee to drive that conversation. So if we say, Paul, how do you think you went there? And hopefully he can give me some feedback on how his game was. And if he's hit the mark on everything that went well and didn't go well, and then I'll say, well, how are you going to fix that? And then he gives me the answers. Then what do I need to expect? He knows what went wrong. He knows how to fix it. Well, I agree with that. So we're not going to speak for the sake of it.
So the process of that, is that whether you're a referee, whether you're the AR, or whether you're an in-goal touch judge, every role's important. So the real key is to make sure that we actually work together as a team and get some camaraderie, have a bit of fun. But sevens has now become quite a serious sport, so we've got to treat it seriously as well. So to go to an IRB level, you've got to be at a certain level in regards to like ITM Cup type refereeing. But there's a lot of other opportunities out there for club referees, representative referees and coaches to actually go beyond just Auckland.
So it's not just through the 15 circuits that are trying to identify these referees. If you get picked to go up to Dubai and you are seen by one of those guys up there alongside these IRB tournaments, they can snatch you from there and put you on the circuit. Young Marius Van Wilson, he refereed in Dubai a few years ago on the other circuits. He's now on the IRB circuit. 3 days. Referee at Condors. It's a big tournament, but it won't be your first tournament. If you haven't made yourself available for previous tournaments, then you're not going to get the Condors. Okay? Sometimes there might be a tournament on and you can't get there because you're just not available because you're away refereeing somewhere else. Well then, that's the way it is. But if you can make yourself available for those tournaments, then it'll be better chances for you to get the Condors. Once we've identified what tournaments there are, we'll identify how many teams there are, how many games have been played, we'll work out how many referees we do need. The best of those 4 will get the final. The next 2 best will get a semi-final of the Cup. We think the Cup semi-finals are more important than the plate final. At the end of the day, the plate final was every lost once. Depending on who we've got available, we'll try and mix up the abilities. So an experienced guy, someone who's you can see coming through the ranks, and another guy who's just there having a good time, but they're still quite capable of doing games. And from that, we'll pick a leader of those guys, and it might not necessarily be the best referee there, but it might be the most organised referee of the team. Players rolling away in the placement area. So they've got to get athlete. They can't roll around and waste time. The ball carrier, he can't, as you see now in 15s, they'll get tackled, someone will go in for the grab of the ball, and the ball carrier will roll again, just to prevent that guy getting his hands on it, and they'll put him in a worse position to attack the ball. Well, we can't have that in the sevens.
The entry point for that and ball on the line for the next breakdowns the key to sevens. Right? So just make sure that the visibility process is always coming in on the wall, not coming in from the dead on. That's correct. The thing is, you've got to set the standards and you've got to set them early. Okay? Because then the tournament will run smoothly because then they'll know what the standard is.
So they're calling the crouch and they're waiting for no movement. And they go on to bind. And again, no movement. And then you go to set, no movement, before they walk the feet. So a lot of patients try and do that with sevens. So ball in, ball out.
We still must get a result. You either get the ball in and out, or you have a free kick, basically. Nothing around, no resets.
We'll talk about later on, talk about the optimal working area for a sevens referee. You've got to use your ARs. You've got to use them. And if you want them to be talking to you, that's your choice, because it's your team of three and you tell them what you want, and how much assistance you want from them. In sevens, ideally what ball carriers want is time and space. Yeah, an advantage, when I said here, advantage is immediate. In seven, it is immediate. If you see an infringement, and there's absolutely no advantage going to be, you can see there's no space, there's no advantage going to come, bang it, blow your whistle, bang on the penalty. The ball carrier has now got 10 metres to play with. And it's not about running coastal and just drifting all the time. You know, if you're 15 metres away from the ball, but you can see everything that's going on clearly, then you can be refereeing from 15 metres away. Obviously, if there's more people with a breakdown, you need to referee it, well then you've got to get into referee it. But some of those breakdowns, you know, they're only tackles. There's nothing more than a tackle. You're only running backwards and forwards all the time. And you're looking at running north-south, up and down the paddock. And your optimal area is your goal line and 15 metre points for both ends. That's your optimal working area. Then work out where's the collision zone going to be. Work out where is the next contact point going to be in the paddock. Be in line with it. So we're not asking you to run all the way down there with the ball now pitched and then run back with the ball carrier. Work out where's the D line and the attacking line going to be. Concentrate on positioning, talking about rubber banding, staying with the game, seeing what's going on. There are things that we're not going to be wide up all the time. Some tournaments might be wide up, might use comms. But you've got to be, and refereeing or ARing while you're wide up is totally different than ARing when you're not. Because quite often when you're wide up, you can watch play go away from you and see the forward passes, and you can call those from behind play. So you might be ball in line from behind as it's going away from you, and you can call the forward passes. But if you're not wide up, how are you going to call those to the referee? So then it's going to have to be the guy on the other side who's now running ball in line. So if there's a forward pass, eye contact, all the way hand signals. Because the referee looks up to you and he sees you in line with the ball, then he's got those calls.